Hi guys, Karen here. So today I went to Lowe's and bought some more plants. Surprise, surprise. But so let me know what you guys think. This is my first euphorbia. We have coreopsis here, and we have some French dwarf marigolds, and I have some lilies. If you're wondering why they're laying flat, they're really not supported very well, and it's windy today. So when I was leaving Lowe's, the wind blew and almost snapped them. So I don't want them to snap before I get them into the ground. They're going in pots. So I just laid them on the ground until I can get to them, just for right now. And these other plants are going in this raised bed. Now, what was supposed to be in this raised bed are zinnia, but the problem is I planted probably 150 seeds in here. They just have not, some of them have germinated, but like I can see I have 2 cosmos seeds, but I planted them well before I planted these zinnia, and these are doing the thing, and nothing's happening in here for whatever reason. Everywhere else I plant them, they're growing, but in here they're not. And I really wanted this to be a flower bed along with that one, in this whole area, so we could attract a whole bunch of pollinators. So I'm going to try not to disturb the seeds, but I already started by putting bee balm there and some white lion Shasta daisies. I want to fill it with perennials, so I don't have to worry about doing this next year. And I have other beds to make into, to grow food, so I'm not worried about that. But in here, they're just not coming up. So, you just have to, switch out, change up, and not be afraid of doing that in gardening, because sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. And I don't want to leave this bed empty because we have stray cats in the neighborhood, and they will start trying to use it as a litter box. That's what happened to that bed last year. So without further ado, and these are garlic, and I'm gonna just go ahead and dig the rest of them up today, because as you can see, the tops are turning yellow and everything, so it's time for them to come up anyway. They're not super big, but that's okay. They're still garlic bulbs. So let's get into it. So there's the euphorbia. It's going to go right there. As you can see, the reason why I'm not planting those lilies in here, because these are lilies from last year. I moved a lot of them, but those came back on their own, and there's one over there in the corner. So I'm just going to leave them and then plant those around it, and then plant the marigolds in front. Actually, I should plant marigolds in here. So I might do that to add a little bit more color, and so they can spread around during the season and attract, because those have already spread. So I might just do that, but this bed needs some color too, some instant color. So yeah, might just do that. Put 3 there, 3 there. And we're supposed to get rain on Saturday. So these should do really well. They should be fine. And I'm trying to put them at the back so I can watch and see if any of the zinnia are coming up. But so far, all I see are little tiny specks of seeds, but not any real growth. So it is what it is. So I'm just going to put these in and show you what that looks like. So far, this is what it looks like. I put 2 marigolds together, there, and then I put some down there, and then 1 over here, or 2 over here. It just looks like 1. And yes, and they'll get bigger. And coreopsis is there, euphorbia is there. I didn't move all of the garlic. I'll do that on a need to do basis. But now I'm just going to water everything in and get started on the other side. But I did get 1 garlic out. That's pretty big. This is the biggest one so far. So exciting. I'm gonna water that in and get going on everything else. But let me know what you guys think. I don't know why they're not growing, but I'm not going to wait till the last minute, like before, like, please grow, and then they don't, and then all of the summertime plants will be gone by then. So nope, I'm just going to get what I can. I do like the euphorbia. That's very pretty. It's a nice mix up over here with the whites and the pinks. And now I added some yellow over here. And those lilies are going to be pink. And we have purple too with the verbena. So, and we have parsley flowers. So cool. Right there. So, yeah. And our peonies did really well. You know, I'm just going to take some pictures of the garden and load it to my Instagram. This will be the May pictures, so we can see how the garden is growing. And our tomatoes are doing pretty well. But anyway, I'm just all over the place. So let me get digging. So I decided to go ahead and put the lilies in this bed. It's small, and they can spread, because lilies, the first year you put them in, they're skinny, and then next year they bring back friends. And because I already have daffodils in here, it'll make it easier for them to just spread their roots, and I don't have to worry about putting anything in this bed next year. It'll just be phlox and lily and the occasional piece of blackberry bush that tries to come through from my husband's bush that's right here. Anyway, I'm just going to plant them here. I'm going to separate them into 3 and plant them in this bed, and I'll find something else for the smaller pots, because if I put lilies in the pots, if I put these lilies in the pot, they're going to outgrow the pot before the end of the season, and I already have daffodils in those pots, and so I don't want to have to lift these out as well as the daffodils out of those pots. So lilies will not be going in those pots. This is the fun part, because as you can see 3 parts to this plant. 1, 2, 3. So what I'm going to do is cut it into the 3 sections, hopefully. So yeah, so I just push on it a little bit so I can release them, and so I can space them wide across the back of it. So I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. And that's what it looks like. 3 plants. And now I'm going to plant them over there. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Yes, it's a little choppy, but they had to be supported because they're really tall. So they're on sale at Lowe's for anyone who's interested. They're normally $15. They had them for $15, and they're half off. So they're really like big, long rather. So this year they'll be supported, but next year they'll be able to support themselves. So they just have the bamboo sticks supporting them. And I won't have to worry about filling in this area, because as soon as the daffodils die back, the lilies will take their place. And I still need to fill in that pot, that one, and those 2 on the stairs. And I think that's it. Yeah, and tonight I have to cover like the pepper plants. I should cover the tomato plants because it's going to get cold. Well, it's going to get to 42 degrees, and I think the tomatoes can handle it. My neighbor has his out, and he just leaves them out, so I don't know. So I'm going to cover the pepper plants though, because it'll be 42. They don't like anything under 50. Yeah, so I'm going to get to it. Our roses are starting to bloom, and this year we're actually going to, hopefully we're going to have some, that's aster starting in there. We're going to have some hydrangea blooms, hopefully lots of hydrangea blooms. I would love to see all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those blooming all together. The limelight and the pinky winky, they bloomed last year, so that was great. But I would love to have, and that hydrangea did too. It would be lovely to have all of those blooms to choose from for, flowers and whatnot, for vases rather. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, and those are our snap peas over there. Anyway, let me show you. So I put zinnia in here as well, but I also put sunflowers in here. They seem to be doing better, but I'm gonna just make this a sunflower cosmos bed. They're doing pretty good, but at least something was coming up over here. Nothing was coming up over there. So yeah, and I'm just gonna let the daffodils die back over here because it still looks pretty even though they're just green. It's something going along the fence, and it keeps the cats from running back there. Yeah, anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.